Welcome to Broad Ideas.
Oh,
Hi.
Hi.
Hey. You guys, Saraya is with us today, but she was formerly known as Paige, okay, with the WWE. She is now an AEW professional wrestler. I didn't want to get the letters wrong.
The movie Fighting With My Family was based on her.
I know. She's honestly amazing. Like,
she's the shit.
love her. She is.
Yeah. Am I allowed to say that?
Why
Am I
couldn't
allowed
you
to cuss
say?
on the podcast?
Hi, welcome to Broad Ideas. She's with this wrestling league. Olivia actually went
I did.
with the boys.
Yep. I'll tell you all about it.
Stick around till after our interview with Saraya. Thanks. We're so happy that you're here. So again, thank you.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
Excited to get to know you and talk to you.
Yeah.
I'm so fascinated by your whole world. Like, you know, all of it. I mean, wrestling, like, I don't know. It just,
There's like nine lives going on over here.
Yeah,
Everyone's always shocked by the wrestling side of things. So people who don't watch wrestling, they're like, what do you do? And you're like, I'm a wrestler. And they're like, what the fuck? Like, you wrestle? Because they expect women to be like giant, like, you know, beautiful, muscly women.
Yeah.
But like, I'm actually one of the biggest ones. Everyone's very tiny from where we were, you know.
Is that right?
Yeah.
Oh,
I'm actually
wow.
quite tall for a lot of the girls because they're all a lot smaller and a lot more petite. So I do a lot of the catching and stuff like that. And they fly around. But yeah, people are always shocked who never watch it. They're just like, I don't believe you. Or they're like, is that some weird sexual thing? You know?
Yeah.
Like, no, it's not.
No, it's not. It's wrestling. It's so funny. I watched Fighting With My Family last night.
Yeah.
Obsessed.
Didn't Florence just nail it? She's so
She
fantastic.
was so
talented.
incredible. Everyone in it was incredible. I cried so many times.
Aw.
So, like, I wasn't expecting that. I
Yeah.
was like, okay, what is this? And then, like, watching, I came out to my brother because he's staying with me and he's really muscly. And I was like, David, fuck, we missed our calling. Like, we were 1000% supposed to be wrestlers.
Yeah.
And he was like, Olivia, no, you weren't.
Well, actually, since you watched it, because there was like, my brother never really got a chance, you know?
I can't.
But he made it. This year, he made it. He finally made it. Yeah. He's in AEW with me. You know, I was in WWE for a long time.
Sure.
They never signed him. But I've been with AEW for the past like year and a half, 2 years.
Yeah.
And my boss was just like, I would love to have your brother as part of this company. Do you think he would want to? I was like, absolutely. He's been trying for bloody years. Yeah.
Oh, my
so he
God.
finally got signed. He's finally, you know, his name's up in lights and stuff. And it's really cool to see. And his family, his wife, and he has 3 kids now. Moving over here in September. So he's in and out right now. He does 3 weeks on, 2 weeks off. So he flies back to the UK for 2 weeks and then comes back. So
Oh my goodness.
yeah, the schedule for him is a little crazy, but once I moved over here, it'll be fine. Yeah.
Oh my God, it killed me. I'm so glad to hear that. It was
Yeah.
really hard to go through that experience with you guys. And there was a moment in the movie, and tell me if this was real. I don't think it's giving anything away because you just said it, where you basically had to explain to him, I didn't steal your dream.
Mm-hmm.
It was my dream too.
Yeah.
And like what that must have been like, I can't imagine the pain on the other side of that as well.
Right. Because with Zach, he's always wanted to wrestle. When I was younger, I fought against it and I was like, I want to be a vet. I want to do something with animals. I love animals. I have a zoo at home currently.
What?
Oh yeah, I have birds, ducks, dogs, I have everything. But yeah, so that's what I wanted to be when I was a kid. I was like, anything with animals, that's what I want to do. And my parents all wrestle, so we're like, you need to be a wrestler. I'm like, no, you know, it's very stubborn. We're very stubborn when we're younger, aren't we? As women, we're very stubborn.
Oh, yes.
But Zach has just always loved wrestling. He could name, like I said in the movie, he could name a wrestler just from his wrestling boots. Like if he saw their boots, he'd be like, oh my gosh, that's Stone Cold. That's, you know, Bret the Hitman Hart. That, you know, he was so good. He was a wrestling encyclopedia. So he did feel a little frustrated that his sister, who didn't want to do it up until she was 13, because at 13 I was like, okay, like my dad threw me into a match and was like, but I wrestled my brother Zach too. He dressed up as a pink Power Ranger because I was nervous. And so he protected me. He was like, I'll wrestle you. I'll just pretend to be a girl, put a mask on and stuff. So yeah, I know. He's a play sweet. I'm very lucky to have him as a brother. But he took care of me in my first match and I fell in love with it. I was like, okay, I have to wrestle, right? So then I started, once I got really into WWE, which is my brother's thing, he would constantly put in VHS videos, you know? And we'd watch a lot of wrestling, and he would teach me about all the wrestlers, and then he would get me in the ring and teach me everything I needed to know about wrestling too. And so he was there from the very beginning. And then I was like, I want to be a WWE diva. That's what I want to be. And that was the only company at the time. Now there's multiple companies, which is great. But at the time, it was just WWE, where you'd be a success in wrestling. Yeah. And I was like, I want to be a diva so bad. They look so glamorous and beautiful, you know, you get paid good. And I was like, that's what I want to do. If I want to be a success in wrestling, you have to be there. So I remember sending out resumes to like just independent wrestling companies. So they would get like 200 people in. It was just very small. And I got turned down from a couple just because I was a female. And I was like, you'll regret that. You'll regret it. Yeah, you know? And so I just kept putting resumes out there, and I started traveling the world by the time I was 14 by myself.
What?
So I was going to Turkey, Spain. I was going to Belgium. I was going, even America. I came over to go to Chicago with my mom then. We was a tag team when we came over to America. But yeah, I was constantly traveling the world. My dad would be like, where are you this weekend, sweetheart? You know? And I'd be like, oh, I'm in like Italy or whatever it is. But it was just, I was just doing it by myself, and I loved it. I absolutely loved it. So then my dad's friend was a scout for the WWE, and he told me that he's not going to give me the opportunity unless I earn it. And if I'm good enough, you know. So it took years for him to give me a tryout. He gave me a tryout, and WWE came over and did a tour in England. So it was like 2011. And I did the tryout. I was 18 at the time. I did the tryout, and they were just like, no, like, no. And like, there was a guy at the time that worked as TR that pretty much said I wasn't pretty enough to be there too, which broke my heart. You know, I was like, this little goth girl.
Me?
You're stunning. He doesn't work there anymore. He hasn't worked there for years. But he said, you know, I wasn't pretty enough to be there, and I needed to, you know, lose some baby weight and all that kind of stuff. I was a kid, you know, and I was like, oh, that's kind of hard to deal with. And I tried to dress like how I thought a diva should dress, right? So I wore color. I wore, like, my hair was lighter. I took my piercings out. I had like lip rings and gauges and stuff. And I took them all out because I was like, no, I have to be a diva, like, you know. And so I felt like he saw right through that, and I wasn't being myself. So maybe I wasn't the most beautiful version of myself, you know, because I was trying to be something I wasn't.
Right.
So then I came back like 6 months later, and I was like, fuck them. If they can't take me like that, can I swear on here?
All day.
Okay.
No.
Yeah.
You are.
Okay, good. If you've seen the movie, you know my family history with cussing. But yeah.
I love it.
I just wore all black. I wore all black. I kept my piercings in. I had all black hair, and I had like a little blonde piece right here. And, you know, I think I have a picture somewhere of it. And my brother did these tryouts with me too. And we were all in the ring, and I was the only female that was in this tryout. And it was in the middle of the ring for SmackDown before the doors opened. And so all the talent, all the main roster talent, I'm talking about like Edge, Randy Orton, all these massive names were around the ring just watching us, you know? Whoa. And I was like, oh gosh. And I was still like 18, about to turn 19, right? And I was like, oh my gosh. But I got in there, and Goldust, which is an old school wrestler, you know, and this other wrestler, Jamie Noble, were running the ship, right? Yeah. So we had to tag in and out. And then there was this big, massive, jacked guy, and he was like in the ring with this other guy, and Dustin came up to me, Goldust, he was like, tag yourself in. And I was like, oh, that's like a big taboo. Like, you can't just take someone's moment, you know? Ooh. But I was like, fuck it, you know? So I tagged myself in. He turned around, he looked at me, he was like, what the fuck, you know? And I was like, he told me to do it. Like, I'm, you know. Yeah. So I jump in the ring, and then we get my brother in, and me and Zach were in the match for like 3/4 of the tryout. It was like, they just kept wanting us to do all these moves. And then Goldust was like, now beat up your sister, make her sell. Sell is when you like saying when you're hurt, you know, you're like, ow, ow, you know. And so Zach was just throwing me all over the place, and they loved it. They really loved it. And then by the end of the tryout, you know, most of the guys wasn't able to get in, which sucked for them. Yeah. Like, I was like, I'm taking my opportunity. I'm the only girl here. I'm fucking gonna showboat right now. I don't care, you know. Yeah. And so, and because the men weren't tagging me in either, like they weren't giving me an opportunity to showboat or do my thing. So I was like, I'm just gonna take it. Yeah. And so like, afterwards, you know, Dustin comes up to me. He's like, you did a great job. He was like, but you could change these things. And he was like teaching me. I was like, oh my God, this is the coolest fucking thing ever. You know, I love you. You know, you're like such a legend in wrestling. And then we get told by the end of it, he was like, I mean, only 2 of us got signed and I was the only girl. So they were just like, you, and then nobody else, right? And I was just like, oh, fuck. And then I just see Zach's heart break, you know?
It makes me want to cry. I cannot take
it's awful because in the movie you don't see that he had like about 10 different tryouts and he just couldn't make it. And they would use them for, you know, we call them like squash matches where he'd go in and he'd wrestle someone like the Big Show and he'd get beaten up in like seconds, you know, on TV. So it was like, he was just very deflated and they were just like, you need to put muscle on, you need to lose weight, you need to do this. And so it was constantly, like the goalposts were constantly moving for him. And he never like, he was like, what do I do? Like, but he never gave up, which is really wonderful. It gives me chills think about it. He's like so inspiring. He never gave up.
No. It's like, it's heart-wrenching.
Yeah. I've been over for 12 years and he finally made it. I never gave up.
Never gave up.
Never gave up. It gives me chills.
He needs to come
telling
on
you.
the podcast.
He does.
You're crying.
Oh my gosh.
I am crying. I'm not kidding. I cried. This guy got my heart because I like got it. I was like, I know that feeling.
Yeah.
And like he just kept taking it on the chin, which was tough.
He ended up in a wheelchair, you know, because of his depression. He got so down and was drinking. I know it's going to make me tear up too because my brother's such a wonderful human and he just deserves the world. You'll never see him argue with people and he constantly like takes criticism and he's like, okay, I can be better, right? But he just never gave up. And I said that his story in the wrestling world is the biggest underdog story I've ever heard about, right? And so it's good for his kids too. I need to show you this video of him like finally getting home to his kids. And they were just like, I'll send you guys the video so you can post it with this.
Yes.
But he just never gave up and it's just so inspiring. And now he's here with me and now he's thriving and people know how good he is. And it's kind of like an uphill battle again for him because people are like, you already got signed because of who your sister is. And I'm just like,
no, he didn't.
You're like, no, it took him 12 years.
I didn't get him here like overnight. It wasn't like you sign him right now. No, like it took time and he just is so non-confrontational too. He's like, how do I talk to people that are mean to me on Twitter? I was like, don't.
Yes.
Because I do and it just doesn't go right.
No.
I'm like, just ignore him. Like only post your success. That's it. Like don't, because it's going to piss them off either way. But just don't stoop to their level, right? And it's bad coming from me because I talk shit to everybody. I'm the worst person to have a lot of followers. So I'm just like, fuck you, you know.
But you're shepherding him in.
Yeah.
She had to do that with him.
you
know, but you do, you have
session.
You have to like those kind of things, especially for anyone who's dealt with any form. I'm sober. Like I know alcoholism and all of that kind of stuff. Anyone who's dealt with any of those kind of things to be exposed in those ways can be really damaging.
So you got exposed for your alcohol?
No. I'm saying I got exposed to the public by being on this.
Oh, okay,
right. And then all of a sudden you're dealing with people being mean to you about you or this, and they don't know you at all.
No.
But when you have those kind of like addictive personalities or anything like what Zach went through, it's like he's opening himself up to a whole new world.
Yeah. And luckily he's in like a good his mental health is at its best.
Good.
But a few years ago, it probably wouldn't have worked out like that. Like he had put on so much weight, you know, and like he was just drinking because it's all like bear weight and stuff like that. But he got so depressed. It was very tough for his wife and kids to see, of course, my family to watch. But he's with his wife and kids more than he is with our parents. So it was a lot for her to deal with. Like she had to like kind of like carry the world for him while he was like just at his lowest. And he ended up in a wheelchair because it's weird that what your mind and your brain does to you, right? Where his body just couldn't function. He was just like, I can't go about my life. Like he's just got that down and depressed. And he deals with it like wonderfully now, but I got him into therapy, right?
Yes.
So I spoke to 3 therapists, like, because I went for a stage of depression. Because again, you get thrown into this world, right? Where people are like, want to know what you're doing and like what they'll put like your wrongdoings out there in like a big way, you know, and I had alcoholism, drug addiction and stuff like that. I've been sober for 6 years. But
you're sober too?
Yeah. Sober sisters. Yeah.
Sober sisters.
But
amazing.
But that's the thing that they put out there and they don't ever put anything that's positive. And, you know, I had like videos of myself from when I was 19, sexual videos put out there by an ex, you know, and so they use that too, and they still use that today. They'd be like, sex tape victim does something really nice for charity, but you're just like, why would you not like just fucking? It's British media that does that mostly, but you know how the British media can be, they're fuckers. But yeah, so like I learned from that a lot. And so like that's what I'm trying to help Zach with, because I'm just like, listen, eventually they're gonna dig up, you know, whatever, or and he doesn't have skeletons, which is fine, but he like did have an episode of drinking, and you know, like he had, you know, all these different things. I'm like, the wonderful thing that you should do though is be open about it.
Lead with it.
Yeah.
You can't fuck with
get ahead of it. Right.
You can't, I lead with it every time. I'm just like, I had that. And you can help so many people with that kind of shit, you know?
Yeah.
And so, he's kind of getting used to it now. But he was like, I just got like 18,000 followers the past like 24 hours. I was like, that's great. He's like, I don't know what to do with this. He's like, I'm nearly at 50K on Instagram. I was like, it's awesome, bro. Because he posted a video of him returning to his kids after like 6 months.
Stop it.
After 6 months?
It's the saddest, it's the saddest but the sweetest shit you ever seen, right? So he knocks on the door and surprises them, because our boss was like, well, Saraya's not going to be here for the next 2 weeks because she has media, right? So, and he's doing stuff with me. So he was like, just go home. So he was going home 2 weeks early. And so he surprised them. His wife knew. And he surprised the kids. They opened the door and they're like, and they just burst into tears. And they're like, Daddy. And it was just like, it was so bloody sweet. But it went viral. Like this video went viral everywhere.
I need to see this video.
Yeah, I'll have to show you guys. I can show you right now, actually. It's just the sweetest friggin' nugget ever.
How old are his kids?
So they're 11, Caden's 11, Devin is 9. I should know this by now, and then Jada is 3.
Oh.
So this is the video. Sorry.
Oh my God.
Hi. You right?
Oh my God.
I come back early. I come back early.
You have to post that, like, just so people can see the shit that wrestlers have to deal with. I know. It made me cry my eyes out.
Oh my God.
Your family is filled with so much heart.
Yes.
Like if that movie touched on it, like if that's accurate.
That's like downplayed.
Good.
Yes. Yeah. Like the way
it's too much, right?
I said to my family, like they have to keep it PG, you know? PG, at least PG enough, right?
Yeah.
So when Steven was going over there, he was like, I just followed your parents around with a notepad and the script kind of just wrote itself. Like he was like, they're out of their fucking mind. Right? But he had to tone it down. So a lot of the words that they were saying, they couldn't use. They're absolutely batshit crazy. And they're all very supportive of one another. It's really wonderful.
What was it? Fuck me dead and bury me pregnant?
Yeah. That's like the same version of what they say though. They're absolutely batshit crazy. My mum and dad love each other. They've been together for a long fucking time. They've had their ups and downs, you know.
Yeah.
My mum even went missing for 6 months.
What do you mean?
Went gone, missing.
How old were you?
Excuse me?
13 and 14 years old, me and Zach. And so so a lot of my family suffer with really bad mental health, right? It happens.
Yeah,
it does
happen.
have
a brother that's in a hospital where he stays, you know, and then I have my sister, my other brothers, you know, a lot of people, there's bipolar within the family. There's just like, you know, it's difficult. We have bad mental health.
Is it the brother that was in and out of jail?
Roy, yeah.
Okay.
So, and he, bless his heart, he's been sober for a long time now, which is good, staying out of trouble, which I love.
Great.
I'll text him every single day, being like, stay out of fucking trouble. Because he pretty much raised me too. He's wonderful, right?
Yeah.
Which tells you about my family with a big heart. I cut my hair when I was a kid and it was like too short. And my dad always wanted me to have long hair. And I went to this hairdresser for the first time by myself. And I was like, can I just get like some short layers? And she misinterpreted it for cut my hair off, right?
Oh,
so
no.
it was really short and I was like, oh. And I was a kid, right? I'd had to be like 8 or 9 years old, right? And back then, like in the 90s or whatever, like you could go around to the shop and your parents be absolutely fine, you know? Like, go do whatever you need to do, you know?
Yeah.
And so like I went to the hairdressers around the corner and then I came back and my dad was like, where's your hair gone? And he was just like, he was messing with me, but I was
Yeah.
like, I don't know. Like, I was freaking out. I was like, I told him this, And he was like, I'm going to call your brother, Roy, right? And Roy, I love Roy so much. Oh my God. He raised me because my parents would travel so much that Roy was around. He got my ears pierced when I was a baby, He would take me everywhere. I was like his princess, right?
Yeah.
And he goes, he called me and he was just like, I'm so disappointed, Saraya. And I was like, oh no. And I cried my eyes out and I ran up for him. Anyway, he didn't have a car. So he walked 7 miles to come and give me a hug and be like, it's
7
okay, I'm
miles?
sorry, I didn't mean to like make you feel sad. Then he turned around and walked home.
No.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Just because he made me
Roy.
cry. I was
Oh
like,
my
So we have a great
God.
family. I'm
I
very
love
lucky.
your family.
They're wonderful.
No. Support for Broad Ideas comes from Talkspace. Therapy, honestly, changed my life. Having that support, knowing I had someone to talk to, it helped me communicate better, reduce stress. I slept better. Honestly, all the benefits, I could go on and on. Talkspace, the leading virtual therapy provider, makes getting the help you need easy, accessible, and affordable. Talkspace therapy and psychiatry are covered by many insurance plans and employers. Most insured members pay a copay of $30 or less. You can easily sign up online and get paired with the licensed provider that's the right fit for your needs, typically within 48 hours. You can also switch providers at no extra cost. Talkspace makes getting help convenient because you can take your appointments from the comfort and privacy of your own home. As a listener of this podcast, you'll get $80 off your first month with Talkspace when you go to Talkspace.com/ideas and enter promo code SPACE80. To match with a licensed therapist today, go to Talkspace.com/ideas and enter promo code SPACE80 to get $80 off your first month and show your support for the show. That's Talkspace.com/ideas, promo code SPACE80. This episode is brought to you by IQ Bar. IQ Bar. Honestly, I feel more alert in the morning, whether I'm doing the brain and body boosting bars or their mushroom coffees. Start each day right with IQ Bar's brain and body boosting bars, hydration mixes, and mushroom coffees. Their ultimate sampler pack includes all 3. Get 7 IQ Bar flavors, 4 IQ Mix flavors, and 4 IQ Joe flavors. And today our listeners get an exclusive offer of 20% off plus free shipping. Just text ideas to 64,000. The Ultimate Sampler Pack is a great way to try all IQ Bar products and flavors. All IQ Bar products are entirely free from gluten, dairy, soy, GMOs, and artificial sweeteners. Their plant protein bars are packed with high-quality ingredients to keep you physically and mentally fit. Refuel smarter with IQ Bar's Ultimate Sampler Pack. That's 7 IQ Bars, 4 IQ Mix Sticks, and 4 IQ Joe Sticks. And now, our special podcast listeners get 20% off all IQ Bar products. Plus, get free shipping. To get your 20% off, just text IDEAS to 64,000. Get your discount. Text IDEAS to 64,000. That's IDEAS to 64,000. Message and data rates may apply. See terms for details.
They're wonderful. They're batshit crazy.
Same. But it's love,
but
though.
that's
There's so much love.
It's
Yeah.
so much love. Who wants some regular?
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
know
No,
what I mean?
no.
It's like, what do you?
Yeah.
What is so what?
It was crazy trying to tell them about the movie too, because my dad did put the phone down a few times. He was like, I don't fucking believe this, right? My dad raised me like that though. He was like, don't get your hopes up, because anything could fall through like that, So I try not to get my hopes up about anything, right?
Right.
So unless you have it in writing, or even when in writing, sometimes you have to be like, well, fuck, that fell free still,
Yeah.
But when it comes to the movie, I remember I didn't make the main roster yet. I was just in their developmental system, right?
Okay.
And there's a big event that they have called WrestleMania, and it's like they take over the town, right?
Yeah.
It's like
Yeah.
100,000 people there just for the show, millions watching it on TV, right? It's massive. It's like our Super Bowl, right?
Yes.
And so like they brought up people from the developmental system to be a part of it and, do sign-ins, do like these little small wrestling matches at the Access, which is our Comic-Con for wrestling. We did like matches there. And I got a text on my phone as I was in catering watching the big show, you know, and it was like, hey, it's DJ. I would love to speak to you at some point, like whenever you're ready. I'm like, who the fuck is DJ? How the fuck did he get my number? Like, why is he texting me? And like this old school wrestler called Dean Malenko was like, that's Dwayne Johnson. And I was like, oh, fuck. Like, and I was just like, oh, right away. Yeah. I was like, how the fuck did he get my number? This is crazy. So I was like, oh, yeah, no problem. I'm trying to act cool, you know? I was like, yeah, no big deal, DJ. I'll be right there, you know? And like someone like his manager or assistant or whatever came and got me because Dean was like, yeah, that's Dwayne Johnson, you fucking idiot. And I was like, oh, shit, what do I do? You know, like, what does he want? You know? And so I get taken to his locker room and I was like, this is weird. Yeah, what am I doing here? You know? And he told everyone to leave. And he was like, hey, I'm DJ. And I'm like, yeah. I fucking know. Yeah. Sick. Yeah, I didn't realize I could give you a nickname, but yeah, this is fucking cool. So he was just like, yeah, I was in England and I was filming Fast and Furious and I couldn't sleep one night and I stumbled across your family's documentary called Fighting With My Family, which you can watch that on YouTube. That's just the movie based on that, right?
Right.
So then I was like, oh yeah. I was like, did you like it? You know? And he was like, I loved it. He was like, I absolutely fell in love with your family. And he was like, it reminds me of my family. You guys are just very close and you love each other and you're passionate about wrestling, right? And I was like, yeah. He was like, so we're going to make a movie on it. And I was like, oh, fuck. I was like, what? And he just started crying. And I was like, this can't be real. You know, I'm 21 at the time too.
Wow.
Yeah. So I'm like, usually people die before they get a movie about their life, right?
Am I dead?
Like, you know, so I was like, oh, thank you. Like, I don't know what to say. This is awesome. And then he was like, and I have something else to tell you too. And I was like, what the fuck else could it be? You know, this is awesome. He was like, you're going to be debuting on the main roster, right? And you're going to win the Divas Championship. And I was like,
I can't handle it.
It's like
I just have like
I
my
got
whole
chills.
body.
I get chills thinking about it because I'm like, that's my dream.
No,
like my
it's
dream is about to come
insane.
true, right?
Yeah.
Like I made it. Finally, I'm getting to be a diva. I'm going to be a Divas champion in like the space of 24 hours, as well as having a movie about my life. But then he was like, but don't tell anyone about this. And I was like, how do I walk out with her and like with all this information? And he was just like, I just want to say good luck and I'm so proud of you. But he was like, I felt like I had to tell you about this Divas Championship because I felt like I know you from this documentary, you know? And I was like, fuck. I was like, wow, you just changed my life completely, right?
Completely.
So I'm like, thank you. And I'm like snot bubbles everywhere trying to wipe everything, you know, fucking eyelashes on my forehead. I walk out. His cousin, Tamina, she's another female wrestler within WWE. She's walking in as I was walking out. So I'm like bumping into her and I'm like sobbing. And she was like, what are you doing in there? Like, she was like very suspicious. And I was like, I'm just a really big fan of Dwayne. Like, I don't know what else to say. So I kind of just like walk away and I call my parents straight away. I'm like, you cannot say anything, you know?
Yeah.
And Dad was like, I'll believe it when I fucking see it.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
And so it took a couple of years for things to get going, you know?
Yes, it
you
does,
guys know
yeah.
how it takes a while. But then Stephen Merchant hops on and he was just like, I want to write. Sorry, I keep whacking this. I want to write and direct it. And I was like, fuck yeah. So he came and he met me and he called me every day after that.
He's
like,
that's so cool.
he's fucking
so
awesome.
yeah.
I love that tall giant man. No, he's fucking awesome. He's so funny. And then he was like, oh, we're doing the casting. And I didn't actually get to meet Florence at the time. It was after the movie was made, I got to meet her because I just had a neck surgery, my first neck surgery. So I couldn't fly anywhere and they were filming most of it in the UK. But he went over to the UK, was in my dad's wrestling gym with him. And he was just writing everything down and getting in the ring and actually wrestling.
Oh, wow.
And then Florence and Jack did the wrestling too. They actually got in and did it. And they were like, this is really difficult. I was like, yeah, it sucks. Wrestling sucks on your body. Like, it fucking hurts, you know?
Rough.
Yeah. And so it's like people always think that wrestling's like easy until like you get in there and do it. And it fucking
I wouldn't think
would
it's
not
easy.
think it's easy. It doesn't look easy.
A lot of people you'd be surprised would be like, well, how hard can wrestling be? And I'm like, oh, it's hard because it hurts as well. Your body turns into one big callus after a few years, you know, and then you can't really feel it as much, but it's painful. But they did it and they killed it. And then you have Lena Headey from Game of Thrones in it. And you had Vince Vaughn and Nick Frost. And I was like, oh my God, like this is great. And then MGM like jumped in and then you had Lionsgate jump in. And I was like, what is happening? This was supposed to be like a small indie movie, but like, you know, they read the script and they were like, this is awesome. We want to buy it. And it hadn't even started production properly yet until, you know, so they really believed in it. And it was awesome. And then it finally came out in 2019. And it actually went for a stage where it nearly didn't come out because of me.
Why?
Because I was going for a stage where it was like drugs and alcohol and I just had neck surgery and I was in a relationship that wasn't the healthiest for me and it was just a really bad time. And then those videos came out and I just hit rock bottom. I was really bad. I like remember taking like pills on FaceTime with my mom and stuff like that. It kind of traumatized her. I'm sorry, mother, for doing that to you. But I was just in a really, really bad place. I thought that was it. Like, I'm like, this is done. And then they were so worried for me. They thought I was going to die. Like, that's how worried they were.
You could have.
I could have 100%. Yeah. I end up in hospital a lot of the time, like a lot of times. Going to England, I end up in hospital. In America, I end up in hospital. It was a really bad time. And then like one day you just switch, like flips, and then you're just like, something needs to change, you know? And so like, I came back to WWE and, you know, they got me healthy and they got me 3 different therapists a week, which thank God I had them, you know, they're amazing. I fucking loved every single one of my therapists. They're amazing. And so, they got me healthy and happy. And then the movie continued. And then it came out in 2019. And then we got to go to Sundance and got to do all these wonderful things. Yeah. And I got to do media in the UK with my family. So, you know, there was fans everywhere, like outside, you know, like behind, you know, the barricades and stuff. And my dad and my mom are just loving it because they're all yelling their name. And, you know, my dad was like a big, like the big star of the movie. I feel like my dad kind of like shined in that movie. And so everyone was just freaking out over them. My dad's like, this is awesome, you know? Yeah. And what's really funny about my dad too, is he was like, Nick Frost, he wasn't familiar with Nick Frost. Yeah. So he was like, oh, I think you could do a good job with me. No way. He wanted, I can't remember who he wanted, like some other old school kind of actor. I can't remember. I have to ask him. But I was like, no, trust me, Nick Frost is fucking awesome.
Amazing.
Like I was a big fan of Shaun of the Dead and Hot Fuzz and stuff. I was like, he's going to kill it. So he did it and he killed it, nailed my dad completely to a T. And then they met each other and my dad's like, get over here, you know, and he gives him a big hug and he just does my dad so much justice. And like, it was just really cool. Lena and my mom, exactly the same. It's
really?
Weird. It's weird. They actually look really similar too. So when we did media, I brought my mom and my brother to do New York media with me. And Lena was doing some with us too. And just those two together, like the way, like just their personalities outside of the movie, she was so similar to my mom. It was weird. They would talk about poo and shit like that. And I was like, oh, you guys are perfect for each other. Yeah. It was really cool. So they nailed the casting. They nailed it and they nailed the movie.
I feel like the casting was insane. It was so, you guys each stood out. Each one of you. And like, I feel like when they make movies about people's lives, they lean in a lot of the times to the drama or the negativity, or they over exaggerate, but nobody looked like an asshole. Everybody got your heart.
Yeah. They did
like
such
each
a good
character,
job.
you're like, I love them.
Yeah.
There was no villains in that.
I feel like Steven did such a good job with the writing aspect of it. Because he was like, you know, of course there's going to be a little bit more razzle dazzle in some spots, right?
Of course.
But like most of it, I would say like 85-90% of it is pretty accurate. Like he's very like, he was very attentive to the details. So he would call me and be like, well, how did you feel in this moment? And what was said in this moment? I'm trying to remember every detail. It's really fucking difficult. You're like, well, I don't know, like, you know, like this. But he nailed it. And he just made us look like superstars, like, you know, and like, again, Florence killed it. You know, she was fantastic. Her first day, which is crazy. She texted me, her first scene was her walking out in front of like 20,000 people at the Staples Center, what used to be the Staples Center. She was like, that was her first day of filming and she had to walk out in front of this live audience. And she was like, how do you get through this? I was like, pretend they're not there. You have to not pretend, that just focus on the ring, focus on the person that's in the ring, you know? And so she got in there and did like a live promo. Yeah. And then they had to do this wrestling match, which was the end of the movie match, right? And so like, and then there was a stunt wrestler. So, you know, Thea had to like switch out with Tessa. Her name was Tessa Blancard, right? And she had to go in and do like the move and stuff. It was like very like, Tessa was pretending to be me, sorry. So Florence had to switch with her. It was like very weird and the fans were really weird, but luckily Dwayne was there and he was hyping the crowd up, you know?
Because that'll get them going.
Yeah, he was like, stick around because we're going to be doing this. And he made sure that no one was talking. Because like wrestling fans can be a little catty, you know? And they just like, they could be like a little mean sometimes.
They like to, it's part of the play, right?
Yeah. So like he's trying to get them not to be like too crazy, but to like cheer and boo when they're supposed to, you know? This is for the movie's sake, guys, please behave yourselves, you know?
Right.
but she did a great job. I was like, you nailed it. For your first day of filming, you're like walking out in front of 20,000 people, like having to deliver your lines like that. That's scary, I feel like. It's like
so scary.
Yeah,
it's
and
so
then
scary.
pretend to wrestle on top of that. You're like, oh my gosh, like, yeah, I would be terrified. I was like, I couldn't do what you did. I can do it because that's my job.
I was gonna say, but what you do is, I think
I've had years of experience doing it though, right? But I'm just saying, like, for a movie, right? So if I did a movie and you guys were like, you guys would be fine because you'd be like, okay, I've done this a billion times, right? I can go out there and do my thing. That's like a whole different ball game to me. I'm like, I can go out there and I can do moves and stuff like that. And if you give like there's little scripts here and there, but it's not like acting like that, you know? So I would shit my pants if I was like, okay, I have to go do what you guys do and then try and deliver it the way you guys would deliver it. That's terrifying to me. I couldn't do it. So it's like, yeah, you guys are like,
I don't know, but my whole mind, like when I go to wrestling and I think about like the choreography, like it's all, you know, you have to know exactly what you're doing, right? Is anything on the fly? Like, it is.
Yeah,
it's
because
like
sometimes times will change. So you're like live in the ring and they're just like, okay, we have 10 to 12 minutes, right, for this match, including entrances and exits. So like it's a whole package, right? And then you'll be in there and they'll be like, oh, the time, because live TV shit changes all the time. So they're just like, we're cutting 3 minutes, so you have to improvise. Or they're like, we're adding 3 minutes. So you're like, well, what the fuck? Now we have to add. Subtracting's a lot easier than adding, for sure.
Yeah.
So like you're constantly, you get used to it, for sure. And then when it comes to promos, I remember this one time Vince was like, you and AJ, which is the girl from the movie, right?
Yeah.
Me and AJ, I had to do this love letter to her. And it was like, Rosa Red, wood chips of I still remember, actually, it was a long time ago. It was Rosa Red, wood chips of beige. I'm sorry I pushed you off of the stage. It's not that I hate you. I like you a bunch, but you just have this face that I want to punch. And it was something like...
I want to write that love poem.
I want to wrestle.
I can't remember. Actually, I remember. I can't remember it. Something, this part is vital. I'll be skipping my way out of SummerSlam with my Divas title, right? So I just lost it and I was going against AJ to try and win it back again. But so he gave me this card and he was just like, yeah, I want you to take out and I want you to read it in front of everybody. So I'm like, okay. And then as I was about to walk out, he took the card away and he was just like, actually, just do it from memory. And I was like, oh, fuck.
Oh,
so I learned it luckily throughout the day. Like they gave it to me early enough for me to be like, I'm just going to keep reading this just in case. Because you never know with this fucking company. They'll take shit away and be like, just, you know. And luckily I did it because he took it and then my music's playing. I'm like, oh, fuck. Okay. And I walk out and then I did it and it's fine. But you have to improvise for that live TV all the time. And then you only get one take. You know, you have to make sure it's fucking
live.
hits.
Live is scary.
It's scary.
Live is scary.
Oh my God. Support for Broad Ideas comes from Seed. Okay, I really try to take care of myself, especially during the summer. Eating healthy, sunscreen, you know, all of those play into vacay, especially beach vacay. So whether you're off to the pool, hiking, or traveling this summer, you're bringing your microbiome with you too. The 38 trillion bacteria that live in and on you, especially your gut, are essential to whole body health. Seed's DS-01 Daily Symbiotic benefits your gut, skin, and heart health in just 2 capsules a day. I love Seed. I love that I can feel good knowing it's natural. It makes me feel more awake. I feel more energized, ready to take on the day with my kid and go on vacay, because that takes energy too. The capsules are so easy to take and so easy to swallow. Sometimes I have a hard time with certain capsules, but this one is really easy. It goes down so easy. I really love supporting Seed. I love all of their products. I love what they're made of, and I feel good about using everything. Support your gut this summer with Seed's DS-01 Daily Symbiotic. Go to seed.com/broad and use code 25broad to get 25% off your first month. That's 25% off your first month of Seed's DS-01 Daily Symbiotic at seed.com/broad. Code 25broad. Broad Ideas is supported by Tropical Smoothie Cafe. Tropical Smoothie Cafe believes you deserve a little vacay every day, not just once a year. Get on Tropic Time with bright and refreshing smoothies, Tropic Bowls, wraps, and flatbreads from Tropical Smoothie Cafe. Summer mocktail smoothies are back and more refreshing than ever and only here for a limited time. Head in and try the fan favorite Island Punch, Mango Berry Cosmo, or Watermelon Mojito smoothies today. You're on Tropic Time now, and Tropical Smoothie Cafe fan fave summer mocktail smoothies just hit the pool deck at Tropical Smoothie Cafe. I love the Island Punch smoothie, but you know what? I decided to switch it up this week. Mango, berry, Cosmo smoothie. Mango, strawberries, cranberry, and lime. It's so refreshing. Enjoy sunshine by the spoonful with the acai bowl from Tropical Smoothie Cafe. One bite of the Tropic Bowls from Tropical Smoothie Cafe, and you'll instantly feel like you are cabana-side. Join Tropical Smoothie Cafe for a pineapple, mango, and watermelon soiree all summer long. Grab a refreshing Island Punch, Mango Berry Cosmo, and Watermelon Mojito Mocktail Smoothie and meet us poolside. Visit one of the Tropical Smoothie Cafe's 1,400 plus locations or order online or through their app.
And so you always know who's going to win?
Yeah. Fans are always like, you have to keep kayfabe, and like kayfabe is like keep the what's the word? Keep that image of like realness. Yeah. But I mean, we're all grown ups.
Who decides who's going to win?
Our boss will decide. And then if he has writers, then they help decide. It depends on where the storyline is going. And sometimes it can depend on how the crowd is reacting to you, you know. And sometimes they don't tell you until very last minute too. Like when I did Wembley recently, and it was the first AEW massive show. It was like 82,000 people in attendance in England, and it was like my first time doing this in front of my home country. Right, I got to walk out with my family again. So that's another story, but that was fucking awesome. Got to walk out with them. Yeah, they got to experience it. But yeah, you know, we were planning this match and there's 4 of us in the ring. It was a 4-way. So we're all in the ring at the same time. And it's one of the hardest matches to put together because you have to make sure that one body's out the way for you to do another thing, you know. And so we were there for a couple of days where we were planning it and we didn't know what the finish was, right? So we were just like, okay, if it's you, this is going to be the finish. If it's you, you know, if you. And then Tony comes in last minute because Tony also owns Fulham Football Club and the Jaguars NFL team. So he was at a Fulham game and like flew in like, you know, like last second as we were like about to leave because the show was the next day. And he was like, oh, you're going over, you're going to win. And I cried because with championships, you're like, yes, it's like it's predetermined, right? But they're trusting you to be the face of that company. Right. But I never thought I would be in this position again because I retired for 5 years because my neck was fucked up. Right. And they said I would never wrestle again. And here I am. Really? Yeah, I got told I would never wrestle again. So here I am back and I'm in England and now I'm going to be the champ again. And I just cried my eyes out. And I was like, you don't realize what you're doing for me right now. Like, this is just... I never thought I would be in this position. It doesn't matter if I'm getting the championship or not. Like, I just never thought I would do this ever again. And so, but with the neck, I had the first surgery, came back, and within 2 months, I got kicked in the back of my neck and I was fully paralyzed for like 5 minutes, just for like 5 minutes in front of a live crowd, which you can see on YouTube. It was just kicked in the back and it looked not crazy, but it's weird how it was. Yeah. And it was right at the perfect spot. And I tried to continue. And tried to I'm losing like fucking feeling in my body, right? But I'm like, no, keep going. So like, you know, I'm with Sasha Banks now, called Mercedes, right? And I'm trying to like grab her feet, and I'm like, I can't feel my arms, and she's just looking up at me, being like, "Are you okay?" And I'm like, I can't feel anything. And then I lost my legs, and then I just fell down on my back, and I'm like, oh no, like I just got that. Real. This is real, and like. Oh, it was awful. And it was a tag match. So I had 2 girls on one side and then another 2 girls in the other side and then us 2 in the ring. So like, we're all friends. So they're looking at me like, no, like what's happening? And I'm just like laying there and I didn't cry at that moment. I thought I would, but I was just like, I'm never going to wrestle again. I had that in my head. I'm like, this is it. This is done. Like, I can't feel my body. So the referee throws up the X, right? And then they come down with like a bed, one of those beds. Gurney thing. Yeah. And so I say, like, I don't want to get on that. I want to be able to walk out. Just give me a couple of minutes. I'm sure my feeling will come back. And luckily it did. Like, I started getting the pins and needles in my body and then it started coming back. And I was like, oh my gosh. And then I sat up and the crowd all started clapping because it's weird for the crowd. They just saw someone get hurt and then like just lay in the ring. So they're all just like, oh, fuck, like what's happening? And so I roll at the ring, I walk back and, you know, I was greeted by all the wrestlers because it was so sweet because I was just out for a year and a half from my first neck surgery. And in that year and a half, those tapes came out. I was on drugs and alcohol. I finally came back. I was healthy again. I was finally made it. And everyone was like, oh my gosh, she's going to hit rock bottom again. This is it. This is going to fucking ruin her, right?
So hard.
But like within like 24 hours, everything changed. So like I went into the doctor's office and then they were like, we're going to send you to Pittsburgh so you can go get your neck checked. I saw Dr. Maroon, who did like the NFL guys' necks and stuff like that. So I went in there and he was just like, there was no fluid around my spine. So he was like, essentially you had like a huge car crash and you're lucky you weren't paralyzed like forever, right? So I was like, that's terrifying. Will I ever wrestle again? And he's just like, no. And so I called my parents, and wrestling's our whole life, right?
Yeah.
And that's on video too. I have to send that to you guys as well.
Please do.
But they started crying. They started crying their eyes out. They're like, we're so sorry, princess, you know, because they were in England and I'm sobbing. I'm like, I'm never going to wrestle again. This is awful. Like, this is my life. This is what I've always wanted to do. This is, you know, WWE was it. And so after that, I went back to work and then they made me GM, which is general manager, which gives me a role where I don't have to wrestle, which I was so thankful for because I felt like I was still useful for something.
Yeah.
So I was playing like a person of authority on TV. Like I was like a boss, you know?
Yeah.
And then one day they were just like, we're not going to do this boss anymore. So you can just stay at home. And I was like, fuck, like this sucks. Like I'm not doing anything at all. And then like, you know, now I have a new boyfriend who I've been with ever since the last 6 years. And he helped me so much to not hit rock bottom again. Because then the pandemic happened. And then we were all doing absolutely nothing. And I just felt completely useless. He got me into Twitch streaming. He did a music video. I was in his music video. You know, he was constantly making me do stuff and like to keep me busy. Because like...
He's like, it ain't over yet, babe.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
He constantly push me. Yeah. And then WWE called me after the pandemic and they were just like, listen, your contract's coming to an end. Like, let's part ways at this point. And I was just like, fuck, like that's all I've known since I was 18 years old is WWE. What the hell am I going to do? I'm not going to get that weekly paycheck anymore. Like, oh, I'm fucking screwed. And I started panicking again. And we were about to move into a new house too. And my boyfriend was like, I'll pay for the house. Just keep your money, keep saving your money. And I was like, that's so sweet. Because I was panicking. Even though I had savings, I was like, well, no one's going to want me after this, you know? And so after a couple of months, I started getting a phone call from WWE again, Triple H, and he was in charge now. And he was like, I would love to have you back. He was like, what happened? Did you just leave? And I was like, did they not communicate with you? They didn't re-sign me. They didn't want to re-sign me, you know? And he was like, well, I'd love to have you back. But then I got another phone call from AEW and they were just like, we want you to come here. So I was like, this is awesome.
Ooh.
What do I do? And then Tony said, you get the freedom to do whatever you want. I'll give you X amount of dollars to do it. And then your schedule will only be once a week. I have to fly in once a week. And he let me do anything. I get to keep my real name, you know, because with WWE I had to go into Paige and they own that.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Now I get to be Saraya. Right.
That's so cool.
Yeah. And they don't own any of it. And I got to use my boyfriend's music as my ring music and like just.
That's so cool.
It's so
love
cool.
that.
Yeah. And so like Tony just offered me so much wonderful things. And he said, I want to bring your brother too. And I was like, signed.
You're done.
Done.
You own
Done.
me.
You did
Yeah.
that
Yes.
because
Done.
Yes.
that is
Yeah. And so, yeah.
I can't.
I walk away from WWE because I was like, I love WWE and I love everything they've done for me.
Absolutely.
But I was like, someone saying they're going to offer my brother an opportunity. I was like, this is his time, right? This is his time to shine. So I was like, done.
You make me cry.
I know,
makes me
dude.
cry.
I get chills because I was like, finally someone's fucking paying attention to him. Finally.
my
He just
God.
serves
What's his
it.
wrestling name?
Zach Zodiac.
Zach Zodiac.
Yeah, but he goes by Zodiac Zach Knight in AEW.
Everyone go follow him.
Yes, please go follow him. He's wonderful. And he's such a good person. He's
Wow.
so sweet.
That was the tipping point, like that they were gonna do that
with
You
my
were like,
brother. That was it. I was like, so
Done.
I'm coming to you. And so I made
Wow,
my debut.
that's
I didn't know if I was
beautiful.
going to wrestle again still. And then Halloween last year, they were like, it was last year or the year before that. I went in to get a CT, MRI, x-rays all down my neck. And they were just like, your neck is perfectly healthy. After 5 years, your neck is perfectly healthy. And I was like, what?
Wow.
Yeah, it was crazy. I was like, it wasn't supposed to heal that quick, right? I was expecting to go back maybe in my 40s, if ever. But they were just like, no, you're good. You're healthy. Like you've got all
How
the
did that
fluid.
happen?
I don't know. Like I always say maybe it's to do with health. My boyfriend got me into the swing of like eating vegan and like being healthy, going to the gym, being sober, like not touching any alcohol, not touching any drug. Like
So proud of you.
yeah, dude, we don't even like do ibuprofen or anything like that. We
Yeah.
really keep it. Yeah. We did DMT. DMT's fun. It's like a herb, like a part of a tree bark or whatever,
Yeah,
and then you
that's
shoot off
different.
into
Yeah.
stuff. Yeah, I was like natural stuff. That was fun.
I wonder
Just for
if
my
that had
birthday.
something to do with your healing.
It could be. It could be.
I
Honestly,
wonder.
yeah. It was on my birthday in like 2020 that we got DMT, and like it was just me and him in the backyard, and by the point it was like beautiful night. You know, I was like, this is a perfect time to do DMT. So then it felt like I shut up. Like, so he was like, close your eyes. So I like closed my eyes. And then I felt like it's scary.
Yeah,
I know.
I felt like I was choking. I was like, like that. And then I could hear Ronnie being like, relax, relax, relax. Like everything's gonna be okay. And then I hear like a like that noise. And then you shoot through like this like tunnel of like just all these different lights and stuff. It's the craziest thing. And then you see like the Egyptian queen. Like that's what I saw. A lot of people see like a lot of Egyptian stuff.
Yeah.
So I was like, I saw like the queen with like the big headdress
yeah.
and stuff like that. But it was very short-lived. Like it's not long at all. Like at 9 minutes you're out and then you're just like, I'm tired. But you feel so much better.
Only 9
afterwards.
minutes?
9 minutes.
Yeah, it's
See,
short.
I'm
Yeah.
like, I could probably do that just knowing that you can come out of it.
Come to our house. Come to our house.
Yeah.
But I told him, I was like, thank God, thank you for telling me to, chill out. He was like, I never said a word to you. And I was like, what? I was like, are you kidding me? I was like, you were talking to me. You told me to calm down and relax. And I calmed down because I felt like I was choking,
Yeah.
And he was like, I didn't say a word to you. He was like, I was just here with my hand on your leg like this, He was just like, I was just there. And
Where'd you meet him?
Okay, so we've known each other for a minute, but I met him at like a festival like over 10 years ago, right? And our friend Bobby is the one that introduced us, our mutual friend, And so we stayed in touch for like 5 years or whatever, but we just weren't in the right place for each other at all. Like we're drinking, partying, not wanting to be like chill or settle down or anything like that. But I always loved him. I always say like the first time I saw him, I was like, he's coming across like, like festivals, they have like everyone's buses and stuff like that. And then like you meet in the middle kind of thing.
Yeah.
I saw him like walking across the parking lot to me and it was like, he was in slow motion. There's like a smoke machine happening, It's like I died in your arms tonight is on in the background. Pigeons. I was like, and I had a boyfriend at the time too. So I was like, I shouldn't be thinking like this, But I've never come across any dude where I felt like that before. And I was just like, he's so handsome. He's so handsome. There's something about him that just is so special. Like I've never seen eyes the way his eyes are shaped as well. It's like weird. He has like a very beautiful bow strike. He's just gorgeous. He's a beautiful.
I need to see him.
Oh, he's a beautiful man. I'll get a good picture for you.
Yeah.
But he's fucking beautiful. I love him so much. And he's like crazy with his tattoos and stuff like that. He just got all blackout tattoo. He was covered from head to toe. He's tattooed. Yeah.
Yeah.
I love tats.
But he was just really wonderful. And like, so we got, once I came out of that year and a half of being crazy, and out of this bad relationship or whatever, I was on social media at my friend Bobby's house again. I'm with Bobby and we were just starting like this company together called the Saraya store. It's not around anymore, but we did like lipsticks and stuff like that.
Oh.
And so I posted on my Instagram and I saw a comment from Ronnie being like, hope you're well. And I'm like, I was like, Bobby,
I just felt that when you said it.
Right? You're like, oh my God, he's fucking writing to me.
Rachel's nipples got hard.
Yeah, dude, mine is starting to get hard thinking about it. I was like,
that.
Handsome devil. So then Bobby puts in a group chat and Bobby's like, please, because he's batshit crazy, but also like, we just both have very like intense personalities sometimes, but his more than mine. He's like, I'm more the patient one between us two. But yeah, Bobby's like, please, you guys will either clash or you'll be the best thing ever. But he's like, don't let me get involved in your guys' arguments, right? And I was like, it's not going to be like that. Like, calm down, And so he starts this group chat and then we start texting and then I go over to California. I go and see him and we're having like fun together and it feels right. And then I was like, I just don't think like I should be in a relationship right now. I wanted it to wait a little bit.
Yeah.
And he was like, fine. And he ignores me for like an hour, right? And then I get a text being like, no, I'm going to fight for you. I want to be with you. And I was like, that's so romantic. That's romantic, right? And I was like, well, you sure? So then I was like, fine, let's do it. But I was scared to be with him at the beginning because I'm like, I've never loved anyone the way I've loved Ronnie. Like I said, the first time I saw him, I was like, he's it. He's the one. It's not now, but it's going to be in time. Like he's going to be the one for me, right? And so I was scared of getting my heart broken. Sure. So that's why I just didn't want to start there. I was like, no, you'll break my heart. Like I cannot deal with that heartbreak with you, no. And so when he said he was going to fight for me and that he wants to be with me and stuff, and I was like, oh, fuck. I was like, okay, let's do it. So then he was like touring and then he came through Orlando because I was in Orlando. And then he was like, move with me to California. And I was like, Okay, so I pack up all my stuff. I take my dog Lobster with me.
Dog's name was Lobster.
That's
and
what we
Lobster.
call each other.
He's
Oh
her
my God.
lobster. Yeah, for
Yeah.
friends. That's why.
Oh, yeah.
But yeah, my good boy Lobster. And and so I move over and then that's it. And then he was like, let's get sober together. That was his idea. So I was still having a couple of drinks here and there, but he was like, no, nothing.
Nothing.
Let's throw away the vape, because I was vaping.
Oh my God, I
Threw
love
that
this
out.
man.
Yeah, he changed
This
my
is
life.
amazing.
Wow.
And I hate being one of those women who's just like, oh, thank God for my man. But seriously, no, thank God for
it's-
him.
Yeah, facts
because
are facts. Like if he
he changed
I
my
think
life.
God shows up through people. That's my opinion.
Yeah, and
that,
he
like,
is.
The gifts are in other human beings.
Yeah.
It's okay for
Yeah.
people to help you.
Yeah, he did. And
Yeah.
he did. And we helped each other in a way where we hold each other accountable now.
Yeah.
So if there's anything like, I mean, we haven't drank or done drugs or anything, but if we piss each other off, we're like, you're fucking pissing me off, But
Right.
we rarely argue, which is weird because I'm quite an argumentative person, so is he. But we come to a good balance where we're just like, it'd be like maybe once a month we'll bicker about something and then within an hour it's completely done. We don't make it last any longer than that. It doesn't
so
need to
good.
be lasting.
That's so healthy.
So healthy. So that's why I feel
What signs are you guys?
he's a Sag, I'm a Leo.
Oh, okay.
So they say they're compatible. I'm not like
Yeah.
super into that kind of stuff, but like he said it because he knows all about
he
it.
told me when I found it.
He would like read all about it, but he has a wonderful story too, which makes it.
Really?
Yeah, he's like, I mean, you should get him on here. He's fantastic. He got kicked out of his first band because he was in the desert and someone got killed, right?
Whoa.
So everyone thinks he's a murderer. He's not. So he got arrested because he had brass knuckles. The guy that shot the guy was self-defense, right? And he didn't go to prison at all. Ronnie was just out on probation, had brass knuckles in Nevada, and they're like, you can't do that. You're going to prison for 2.5 years.
Oh, that's...
He got sucks, right?
shit.
He got, this was a long time ago. This was like 12 years ago or something like that. Anyway, he goes to prison, gets sober in prison, and comes out, and he made a band while in prison called Fallen in Reverse, right? So he comes out and is instantly successful because he does all the songwriting, he does all the instruments, he does everything. Everything in his band he does, beats everything, right? He's a genius. And so like so he went to prison, got sober, and then came out and was just like, I'm not going to go back to that person that I was again, built this band, and now he's one of the biggest rock bands there is in the rock world.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So
That's
he's
so cool.
massive. His songs go triple platinum. He's
Oh my
selling out
God.
arenas the same as mine. Like he does
Stop
huge
it.
arenas. Yeah,
Oh,
it's fucking,
that's amazing.
It's bonkers, and it's
You
really
guys
cool.
are bonkers together.
Yeah.
He's, let me get a picture of him.
Yeah,
He's
please.
handsome. He's
What is
so
it called? Falling in reverse?
Falling in reverse.
Falling
yeah.
in reverse.
Yeah. People think he's
that's a good
batshit
Wait,
title.
crazy.
that blackout tattoo though, does that hurt? Like what is the
Oh
deal?
yeah, he's so fucking crazy, and I think it's like being a Sagittarius. From what I've learned, is like they're very sporadic and like
Yeah.
they get hyper obsessed with certain things.
Yeah.
And so he goes through stages where he'll find something that he's really interested in, and then he'll fucking beat that drum, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So he was like, with his tattoos, he was covered in tattoos, and then he was like, I don't like these tattoos anymore, so I'm just gonna get blackout covered, like before MGK did it.
Oh, he did it first. Okay.
MGK copy. We always say that, but it's because he follows Ronnie like everything he does. I'm gonna be Bat Pay. But yeah, so Ronnie got completely blacked out in like 2 months, and that's brutal. 'cause
okay,
the
so
that's not-
tattoo
yeah.
gun was like
horrible.
this big, and his whole body reacted really crazy to
I was
it.
going to
so
say,
he's
did he get sick?
really sick. Yeah.
Yeah.
For a couple of days, he was like,
I just heard
What
of
is
this.
it,
I
like
didn't
poisoning
know
or something?
you get
or
like
whatever?
well, because anytime your body has like any sort of threat, the immune response is coming. So I heard that for the first time that people get tattoo sick.
yeah, yep.
I've never
Yeah.
heard that before.
Well, why do you think I've heard of it?
Because you have so many tattoos?
No, because my father-in-law decided to get like 20
Oh,
tattoos
yeah.
in 1 year.
That's true.
I'm trying to find like, because there's a lot
You
of
went a
videos
little
of him
crazy.
being
What if
absolutely
you got a
fucking
blackout
psycho.
tattoo?
I wouldn't be surprised. I told him he's starting to look like Post Malone.
I can't even, you don't really see him on this one. There you go. That's how it is.
Oh my God. Yeah.
He has very feminine
Stunning.
features.
Stunning.
So-
He's got great eyebrows. It's fucking sick.
Yeah, his eyebrows look
pisses me off.
I love it.
Oh my God. I love how but you're just like so in, you know what I
Oh,
mean?
yeah.
Just like, I love
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
Is it like, do you guys talk like marriage? Or
Yeah, so
do
we're
you
gonna
not care
give him
about
6
it?
years. I try not to. You know how I try not to push on a man like
Yeah.
that. So I'm just like, whenever you want to. I'm not. We're not in any rush. But at
Yeah.
the same time, I'm like, kind of am. So hurry the fuck up. But no, I'll make fun of him about it sometimes. But Eventually, we will.
Yeah.
Eventually.
Do you want kids and stuff?
I do. I actually went through an ectopic pregnancy before with him.
Oh,
That's
yeah.
not fun.
It scared the shit out of him
That
too.
is
Because
scary.
let me tell you this fucking story, right? These freaking doctors, they scare the shit out of you for no reason, right? So Ronnie's on tour and we had cameras all around the house, inside the house. Because at this point, there's fans, like his fans and my fans that kept finding us. So we were just like cameras all over the house.
Oh my God.
They were insane. And so luckily we did have him though, because Ronnie was on his last day of the tour and luckily it was like somewhere like San Diego, pretty close, right? And I just got like this awful pain in my stomach. And then all of a sudden, like all his blood started coming out and I couldn't even stand up. My stomach ballooned up. It was really bad. And so I was like crawling on the floor and I was screaming and there was no one there. I was like, I don't know what the fuck is going to happen, right? So Ronnie saw that I wasn't answering the phone, looked at the cameras, saw me on the fucking ground, calls an ambulance, right? Books a flight, comes directly home. But the ambulance comes and then like I crawl myself out the front door and I'm like, puking too. Like it was insane. It was just every hole was like, it was terrifying. I crawl out, the door closes behind me and it locks. So I'm like, oh fuck, I can't get back in again. So then the ambulance people come, the doctors come and they try and go around the back. And then they saw I have lobster. Lobster's a pit bull.
Yeah.
So they were too scared to go inside. They were like, do you think you can crawl through the doggy door? And I'm like,
What?
yeah. So I crawl through the doggy door, bleed. There's a lot of blood, by the way. There's a lot of blood, right? I crawled through, I unhooked the door because they needed to get my ID and everything like that. Whatever it is they needed to get from me.
I mean, in that circumstance, I feel like they should have taken you
just straight to the hospital. It was bad. So like it started off kind of wacky, right? So then I get there and like they put me in like a little hallway while I'm just bleeding out. And then they rush me into this other room. I have people everywhere. This woman that's going into my freaking crotch, trying to clean everything out, trying to see it, and I'm just like in pain and screaming.
You
I'm on
knew
the
you were
phone.
pregnant? Or you didn't know?
No, I had no idea.
Yeah, I was going to say.
Because I got, with endometriosis, right, they told me that it would be really difficult to even have kids in the first place. So I had no idea.
Right.
So then this doctor, like I've been there for a couple of hours at this point. Ronnie finally gets here. Well, just before he gets here, actually, because I call him about this. But this, the female doctor was like, yeah, something bad's happening. It's like an ectopic pregnancy. And I was like, oh my God, am I going to die? And she's just like, it's okay to cry. And I'm like, oh my God. And I'm like, freaking
that is
out.
not comforting.
No, I was like, what does that mean? Am I going to die? And I called Ronnie. I was like, I think I'm going to die. I'm having an ectopic pregnancy. And he's crying. And she's not telling me I'm not going to die, right? She's just like,
I'm not going to die.
it's okay to cry. It's okay. And I'm like, oh my God. And I'm freaking out.
Fucking doctors.
So she leaves. And then a couple of hours later, Ronnie's here. This other doctor comes in. I was like, you're a different doctor. And she was just like, how you doing? And I'm like, well, I'm going to die. She's like, no, you're not. She was like, what are you talking about? She was like, you're here. You're fine. You're in time. But you're having an ectopic pregnancy. So we just have to get you into surgery, get everything fixed. But she was like, you're fine. She was like, why do you think you're going to die? I was like, that woman, she pretty much said I was like,
That woman was like, she brought in the priest. Like,
she was like, that's a student medic. She shouldn't have even said anything to you.
Right.
She's not allowed to give you diagnosis. She's not allowed to do any of these things. So she shouldn't be even
She's
talking
a
to you.
candy striper.
I was like, yeah, she's just some random off the street. I'm like, oh my God. So then like, I feel better. I go into surgery pretty much then and there, right? Come out. I stay there overnight. Everything's fine. Ronnie wasn't allowed to stay. And luckily the hospital was really close to our house at the time. Actually wasn't too far from here. We used to live around here too. Yeah. And so he comes back in the morning and he didn't want to wait for them to come and like see if I was okay. So he puts me in the wheelchair and just runs me out the hospital to our house. I was like, that's fine. Just get me out of here. I fucking hate hospitals, but he hates hospitals too. He's like, you're fine, And I'm like, I don't know. I'm like, it's just hanging out, But yeah, it was fine after that. But yeah, he just gets a little worried when it comes to having
Yeah. So he pulls out.
Yeah. A little terrified. He was like, I just don't want you to die.
No, we don't want you to die.
But what a scary, dramatic experience. Because you didn't even know. You didn't think you could get pregnant. And then it's an ectopic pregnancy, which is so scary. It is. Like,
it's scary. Because it can be fatal if you're not like,
if you don't know.
How does it happen? It just happens?
It's in the fallopian tube.
Right, it just shoots in the wrong area or something?
It just starts developing in your tube.
Yeah, I think it's
right?
like, like the cells like develop outside of the uterus. So then like when you do try to get pregnant or whatever, like sometimes it can develop out there because that's where the cells are. Don't quote me on that.
I know we're all like guessing. I'm like, I don't know.
This is what it is.
Yeah.
And girls are like,
She's like, I play a doctor.
yeah,
a wrestler.
I know what I'm talking about. Yeah, so I'm assuming it's something like that because of endo, but who knows?
Terrifying.
It's crazy. Or maybe it might be because like the fallopian tubes, the egg gets stuck. I don't know. I don't know.
It's but I'm pretty sure it's in the fallopian tube is where
Yeah.
the pregnancy happens.
Yeah, exactly.
Instead of the uterus.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Guys, we're like really, I'm like, oh God, the medical
Don't
stuff.
quote us on it.
Don't
but we
quote
think,
us. We're just talking.
But it's also
So what
more
do you-
common than people know. Same with
yeah.
endometriosis.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like,
It's super
Yeah.
common. But it also goes like untreated for so long because doctors don't really like take it very serious and it's really
Right.
frustrating. I don't know. So you have to go to like an actual endo doctor and they're very few and far between. But it's
how do you
frustrating.
know you had it?
So the doctors will tell you. So I suffer from cysts all the time.
Okay.
And so once they go in and inspect everything, they're like, you have endometriosis is what,
Got it.
why you keep suffering from those, right? So I actually had one, a dermoid one that
Yeah.
had bone and teeth in it and everything. I was like,
my cousin
ugh.
had that. It's like had hair and a teeth and a face.
Excuse me, what the hell are you talking about?
Yeah, it's
What
cysts.
You didn't know that?
What are you talking
Oh yeah,
about?
it's
Mary. Oh, sorry, Mary. I'm putting you on blast. My cousin.
Wait,
Yeah,
what do you mean a face and bone and
they can
teeth?
grow teeth.
They can grow teeth and hair.
Yes.
Yeah, I just rocked your
She's
world.
married to a doctor and she's just
This
learning
is brand new information.
Awesome
Yeah.
about that dermoid.
So you've got
And
like
she
a
named
little
hers,
like
like,
where the
Harold or
wild
something.
thing
like
are.
a demon baby. Terrifying. So like it grows on you, but you have it for years and years and years. That's why it develops all that kind of stuff. And like
Real teeth.
real teeth.
Yeah, it
real
develops
teeth and hair.
things.
Yeah,
You
it's
guys.
weird. It's disgusting.
We're not lying.
No, I had a 10 centimeter by 6 centimeter dermoid cyst on my ovary, and like
That had fucking teeth
it
and
had
bones.
teeth and hair. It's so gross.
She's so freaked out right now.
I'm telling you, it's
Never, you guys, I feel a little bit like nauseous.
yeah, it's
I've
gross.
never heard
Well,
of
it's
this.
gross to think about.
Yeah,
but
it was
just-
inside
Wait, did you
me.
have to have it removed or
Oh,
did
yeah.
it go away on its own?
Yeah, I have a big, like, it's like a C-section scar
Yeah,
from it because
yeah.
it was so big. they
Those
couldn't-
you have to have surgically removed.
Yeah.
What's why teeth? Can
I
you
don't
shit?
know.
Yeah,
It's
it doesn't have the like medical information for
I don't
you.
know. I don't know what it is. But,
But it
yeah,
has
I didn't
teeth.
even know those were a thing either until, like, this was like in 2013.
This is a movie.
Yeah, it's
This
like
is a fucking movie
horror
like that.
movie. It's like,
Yeah, it's just way out. Like, what is that? It's my cyst.
It's gross. So like I went to get an
It's
X-ray on my back
fascinating.
because I didn't know I had scoliosis for most of my life, right?
Oh my
Until I was
God.
in WWE and I was doing bent over rows and like the trainer was like, "Do you have scoliosis? Because your back's fucking weird, you know?" And so like I was like, "Oh," and I always thought my back was weird. When I looked at like try to look at a mirror in a backless thing, I'm like, "Ugh, like what's going on back there?"
Oh,
But
no.
it's because it was like scoliosis.
I just love that you laugh at everything. That you're just like,
like,
it's
ugh.
such a good attitude.
She's like, oh, what's that thing with
that?
the teeth on my back?
That was on my ovary.
I know.
So I went to go get like a whole X-ray, and they were like, "You have a mass going on." I was like, "Oh God, like
oh
what?"
no.
And then they went in and they thought it was a regular cyst, which I get those too without
Yeah,
the teeth.
I
and
do too. I get
think,
regular cysts.
That's
They
common,
suck.
I had a
right?
huge one.
Yeah, they.
I
Suck.
couldn't do anything. They're like, you can't run, you can't ski. You
But it
can't-
had feet.
It did not have. Yeah, it was doing the running for me.
Yeah,
No, it didn't grow
ears.
any of that, but it was just a massive one. It was really big.
Yeah, it's great. That one's just a sack full of like liquid. That's what but most of the time you can just let it, like it give you something to make it go down or whatever. But I've had a bunch just surgically removed. So this one,
Wow.
like those keyhole surgeries, like through the belly button.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
But this one was too big. So then I woke up and it was like, I pressed myself and I'm like, and it was the most painful shit. I've had my boobs done twice and that's not, and my neck was the easiest surgeries. I had 2 on my neck, 2 on my boobs, and like a couple down here. And this one was the most painful thing ever.
I've had that.
She's
Like,
had two
Two
C-sections.
C-sections. It's fucking
It
horrendous.
fucking sucks.
It's horrendous.
Oh, you can't fucking laugh. You can't sneeze.
You can't go to the bathroom.
No, you can't even
Don't
stand up
try and go to the
straight.
bathroom.
Yeah, you're toast. It fucking sucks. It takes
Yeah.
a minute for you to like get healthy again with
Yeah.
that too. But yeah, and like then you have like this big scar. And I'm like, I didn't have a baby. Like I don't even have an award for this. I had a demon baby.
You did. You had a baby.
I
You
had
had
a demon baby.
Did you keep it?
No. I should have. I should have taken a
should've.
picture. But I just in
Did
that
you see
moment. Yeah. So they bring a picture of it. They take pictures like while they're inside it.
Yeah.
So they show you the piece of paper where like the image
Yeah.
of it, and I was like, ugh, that's disgusting. Yeah. I'm good. Yeah, keep it. It's just gonna keep it in a jar. I'm like, bring it with
Keep
me.
it
And
in
I'm
a
like, I thought
jar.
this would be a
You
good
take
talk.
it out on
Just
the
do that in the
rain and be
rain,
like,
yeah, I was
me
just
and
gonna
my...
say.
Me and my baby. Yeah.
You changed your wrestling name to Rosemary's Baby.
Yeah.
Oh my God,
gosh.
stop.
Oh my God. It's too much.
Yeah. I'm sorry
Oh my
for going
God.
into
No,
that story.
Don't
I don't
be
know how
sorry.
No, we love
like,
this kind of
This
shit.
is like...
She's
my
just in
world just
shock.
got changed because the vision, I keep thinking
Yeah.
of like
The first time I heard it, I was like,
keep seeing
"That's
like where the
disgusting."
wild things are, like with the hair and the
Yeah,
teeth.
it's a
and, like-
freak, a freak of nature. What women have to deal with, I'm sorry, but what we have to deal with
Oh my
is fucking
God.
insane. Do you get like demoisis on boys fucking, bull sack? You
I
know?
know.
Like, no,
Nothing.
we don't. We have to deal with all
we
that
deal with
awful.
it all.
We
We have
do.
to push humans out or taken out. I mean, either way,
Yeah.
it ain't easy.
It's not
Even
fun.
just the bleeding, man.
Yeah, oh,
The
God, I
bleeding,
fucking
just
hate it.
period.
When you try and make it, like I have 2 sons, right? And if they witness any blood anywhere, and I just say, "Oh, it's mommy has a certain time of the month, right?
Yeah.
Bleed," they're like, "That's horrible," and I'm like,
We don't die either. We
Yeah.
just bleed out.
Did you ever
bleed
hear that
out.
thing where it's like anything that bleeds for 7 days straight and doesn't die, that shit's just evil.
Yeah.
Who
oh,
says
yeah.
that's like a
It's like
comedy?
Eddie
I've seen
Murphy
that,
or
yeah.
something like that.
I mean, it is what we have to deal with that, especially like I have a friend that's pretty fortunate when it comes to periods where she's like, it's not really painful for her.
when
I'm like, oh,
those-
you fucking bitch. I'm God's favorite. And then you have like another friend where she won't have like a period for like 2 months and then she'll get it really heavy.
Yeah.
Whereas me, I feel like if you just mention the word period, that's it. I'm fucking sprouting. You know, like stop. Especially when you're in a locker room full of girls and we all
I'm sure
start
you all
like
sync up.
we sync up, and it's the worst fucking thing ever. And this was one girl in the locker room, Diana Peranzo. Yes, you. She is notorious for making people start their periods because her stomach aura, her period aura is just so like strong.
Yeah.
That if she's on her period, that's it. Everybody is. It's the weirdest thing. And I didn't believe it when she first came to AEW. I was like, don't believe it. It's
Yeah.
not real.
Yeah.
But it is real. Instantly start my period. As soon as she came around, I was like, oh fuck, I'm bleeding out.
Oh my
Oh my
God.
God.
Yeah.
But okay, the girls.
Yeah.
You mentioned the locker room.
Yeah.
Do you guys all get along?
Yeah, actually, it's
Yeah.
shocking. Like, obviously, so there was a woman wrestler that once said, like, like a period, the locker room flushes itself out of all the bad shit,
Awesome.
So, like, even if there is, like, a negative person, usually they're gone.
Yeah.
Or, like,
Yeah.
there's a change of tune or something like
Yeah.
that. But the girls they're so amazing. They're all so sweet. And they're all a lot younger than I am. Like, I'm in my 30s, they're in their early 20s. So it's like... mother.
Yeah.
So it's actually quite depressing, but it's like they're really, really sweet, and they all just like are really happy to be there, which is really nice.
Yeah.
So we all get along great.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
awesome.
Yeah, it's really
That's
fun.
good.
And then I always have my friend Renee. She's kind of like you too,
Yeah.
Renee, we went through everything together. We went through WWE. We did like a show on Fox. We did Total Divas, the reality show, and then we did AEW together. So we've always just been with each other.
So she's there now with you.
She is, yeah.
Oh,
Her
that
hubby's there
helps,
too, but
huh?
she didn't go there for her husband.
Oh,
No, she sure didn't.
That's good.
Yeah.
yeah.
We know.
Wow.
We know what's up.
Yeah, thanks. Yeah.
Wow, it's just so crazy. The whole world to me, it's so interesting. And like you said, like the fans are so diehard.
Next
Like,
level.
I know, but I would like to go.
Mm-hmm.
I
Yeah.
want to like go watch.
Can we come one
I
time?
want
Yeah,
to see
okay.
you.
We're in California actually soon.
Can we
So
come?
Absolutely.
I would love to.
I would love to.
Yeah.
I grew up watching wrestling.
Yeah.
Yeah,
absolutely.
I was obsessed as a kid.
Oh, please.
I was
Yeah, you
really
have
into
to.
Glow.
Glow. So,
Oh,
did you watch
the
Glow?
show.
Gorgeous Ladies of Wrestling.
That's
Yeah.
like old school too.
Oh,
They
yeah.
remade it into Netflix as well. That was a really good show.
Yeah,
I
the
was
newer show. I
obsessed.
thought you were
Yeah.
talking about the newer show.
No, as a kid, I watched
Oh,
it.
got it. Got it. Got
Yeah,
it.
that
yeah.
was awesome.
I got
Yeah.
real into wrestling for a moment, like real hardcore. My friend's dad was into it, so we would watch it every Saturday morning. And
Yeah.
that was during was it like Randy Savage days?
Oh, I
And-
love
yeah,
Randy
yeah.
Savage. Well, it's fun to see the big characters. It's like, I always say it's like going to like a movie because we have the storylines too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you have a little live
a
action
show.
as well as a movie. And then you're like, you want to come in next week, you want to watch next week, you want to see what happens. You're like, leave them on
Yeah.
a cliffhanger. But it's like people will make fun of it sometimes, but I'm like, it's $1 billion company. So and hundreds of thousands of people go to shows like every WrestleMania. You get at least 20,000 weekly that goes to one of the shows, So there's a lot of people that love wrestling still. So
Love
whoever makes
wrestling.
fun of it, I'm like, you are a closet
No,
wrestling fan.
it's massive.
It is. It's
massive.
really this fucking It's awesome. And then, if you do want to watch on TV too, can I just say AEW is on TBS on Wednesdays and TNT on Saturdays.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah,
I'm
so
excited. I want to start watching with my kids because they wrestle
my
every night.
daughter. I want to show her
Yeah.
Bring them all to the show. It's kid friendly,
Yeah,
you should come along, and then we'll bring them backstage and all that kind of fun stuff.
I'm
Yeah,
so excited.
Yeah.
Give her some tips.
Yeah.
Let her wrestle Elliot. My kids wrestle
bring the other
every
half. I'll
day.
teach her a couple of things to give one of these.
Oh, that'd be so cool.
Yeah.
We would love to do that.
Yeah,
being serious.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We'll teach you a few things. Yeah.
Okay.
No, they'll love it. If you come early, we'll get the kids in the ring and stuff like that. They'll love it.
Oh my God, that's so exciting.
Yeah, you'll enjoy it. Yeah, please come, please.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh my God, you're incredible. Just everything, your spirit, your energy, all of it. Just, you're so awesome.
I sweat so aggressively though that I'm like, we're not even doing very much. Okay, good. Like I'm a heavy sweater, so like
you don't look.
I'm like, do I
beautiful.
look like I'm dripping?
No, you're gorgeous, and it
No.
probably plays well for the wrestling.
Yeah,
because it's like, oh, she's working for it.
Yeah. It's like,
Yeah.
I'm a little hardcore when I speak too. Apparently, I'm a little aggressive when I speak.
I can't wait to see you. This is really fun.
Thank you guys.
Yeah.
Thank you. Seriously, it was really fun. So thank you guys for having me on
Thank
here.
you
I love
for coming
it.
on and being so open.
Yeah, it's different than speaking about because a lot of people ask a lot of wrestling questions.
Oh, really?
Right. So it's always nice to talk about other things outside of wrestling. So
Yeah.
you're just like, oh, this is like a breath of fresh air. Really.
good.
This is just fun. This is just us having fun.
Yeah,
with
we
you.
just
I loved it. Yeah, so thank you guys so much.
Thank you
Thank
so
you
much
for sharing with us. Okay. How was your first wrestling match?
Absolutely fantastic.
Do tell.
Really was. It was so much fun. We met Saraya. She took us backstage.
She did.
Yeah, she was so cute. She was
That's cute.
so, I just adore her. I think she's a rad person.
Yeah.
Love her. Her boyfriend was there. They were all great. We got to watch her brother fight.
Her brother.
Her brother.
You got to watch her brother
Yes.
fight.
Yeah, so that was really fun to watch it with her, and she was really excited, and it was a very fun moment for us as a family. And then we watched the show. She wasn't wrestling in it though.
She wasn't
No,
wrestling.
they switched, and it was another girl, but that's okay. We had the best time. It was very aggressive in there. There's a lot of cuss words.
Oh.
Yeah.
Your boys fit right in, I'm sure.
Yeah. They're like, oh, we're home.
We decided
It was
to
them
leave.
swearing, right?
Yeah. We decided to leave at one point. We're like, okay, it's time to go. It was a school night. Shepard lost his mind.
He didn't want to leave.
Freaking hysterical. I've never seen him get that mad. He was like, no, bad guys. So we had to take him back in to finish it out. And
You couldn't leave.
we couldn't leave.
That's hilarious.
And now there was this one wrestler named Swerve, and he plays this song when he comes out, and it's like, whose house? Swerve's house.
No way.
All day, every day. I have to play the Swerve song in the car, and Shepard is in the backseat
That's
I
amazing.
swerve when I drive. They became obsessed with wrestling, and now watch it.
Were you guys big wrestling fans growing up?
I actually was.
I was too.
You were? It was fun.
were?
Right?
Like sixth grade,
Yeah.
7th grade. Yeah.
I think if my brother would have been into it, then I would have been exposed to it. But no one in my family really watched wrestling.
It wasn't in my family. My best friend's dad watched it, so we would watch it every weekend. It was fun.
I love it. Yeah.
Me too.
I get nostalgic for it sometimes still.
Oh my God.
Yeah,
Like
well, we
fighting with
should
my
go.
family. I loved that movie.
Same.
And did you see Ready to Rumble when it came out?
No.
That was like David Arquette.
Oh, yeah. Have you seen White Claw yet?
I watched it this weekend.
How was it?
Depressing.
What is it?
The Jeremy Allen White, Zac
Oh.
Efron wrestling family.
Right.
They have like a cursed family. The boys would love it though.
Yeah, exactly.
They would. You know, what movie would you live in if you could live in a movie?
He's like White Claw.
Is it called White Claw? It's Iron Claw.
Oh, is
White
it?
Claw's the
That's
alcoholic,
an alcoholic
beverage.
Olivia. Of course, that's where her brain goes.
Yeah.
What movie would you live in?
What movie? That's a great question.
No, but it made.
Is he being
No,
facetious?
No, I think he's being
I'm being serious.
serious.
I'm trying to think. Probably like a Wes Anderson movie because
Yeah.
That
They're always so
tracks.
like quirky and
That tracks for
Yeah.
you.
or like in Bruges.
Oh,
We'll go back to that.
You would live in that?
movie?
I mean, the setting.
Okay.
It's nice there.
The setting. What about you?
Not like the hitman situation.
I think like something really light.
I think I'm going Pee-wee's Big Adventure.
Oh.
No, Big Top Pee-wee. Sorry. Is that the circus one? That's the one
Guess
I
I'm the
watched.
wrong
as a
person.
There's
kid.
always a lot of antics in that.
Oh, really?
It's a lot of like
Antics.
deep darkness in there too.
Yeah.
Okay, maybe I won't live there. Sorry. Okay. I really need to think about this because it got me thinking and I can't figure out which movie.
I feel like I would want something really light, like
Oppenheimer.
like I don't know, something's got to give, something about Mary.
Like Up.
No. I have
No.
never cried harder in a movie than I did in Up.
Is that true?
I swear to you, the first time I watched Up, now granted, my grandfather had just passed away.
Okay.
Well, yeah, so it's
Pop,
tied to
pop.
some stuff.
Yeah. But and I watched it, but that kind of shit hits me on a level so deeply. I was scarred. Like,
Because I did watch you cry really heavily during, what was that movie that Jeff would make us watch? Over the Moon?
80 for Brady.
You cried so much you thought maybe you got swept into the river of sadness, remember? Or
I was
something.
like, I live in the river of sadness.
Yeah, that one took you.
Is that what it's called?
I don't know, something like that.
Yeah.
Did you see that Airbnb made an up house that you could rent?
I could not go there.
It had like it was floating.
Where
They
is
had,
it?
Like,
It was
it was in
floating?
California. They had like a ton of balloons.
That is so
had it
cute.
suspended.
How do you feel about hot air balloons?
I don't think
So
I would
good.
do it.
You wouldn't do it?
Would you go in one?
No, I don't think so.
Why?
I don't like heights, and
Oh,
that's a balloon in the air.
I would do it. I once had a guy take me on a date for a hot air balloon, but then the wind was too strong, so we didn't make it.
Who?
Well, I'm not going to tell the world.
It was Jeff. When I took Calvin camping once, we like woke. It was in Temecula. And
Yeah.
we like woke up in the morning, got out of the tent, and there was just hot air balloons all over in the sky.
That's cool.
That was cool. But
They
I
don't
didn't- I
not
didn't
scare
need to be
me
up
in
there.
one.
No, I
They
don't
don't
need to be
scare
up
you?
there.
No, do they scare
That's
you?
interesting because you're so scared of things.
But I'm not scared of heights and stuff like that.
Yeah, me either.
No, like I've done what is it called? Like
But it's like-
paragliding and all of that. Is that what it's
I
called?
don't think you have. I don't think you have paragliding.
What's paragliding? When you go up in the sky?
You mean parasailing?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's way
What's
different.
paragliding?
Paragliding
Paragliding
is
is
when
like
you're
just-
holding onto the bar and you're like flying.
And that's it. And there's like no ropes. You're not tied to a boat.
Paragliding.
I'm a paraglider.
You're not going paragliding. Oh my god!
What's
or like hang
parasailing?
gliding.
Parasailing,
Parasailing
I
is when
think
you're
you're-
towed by the boat
Yeah.
and you're up
In
there.
the, yeah, I've done that. Like what I mean is I'm not scared of
I get it.
heights.
I don't think you would paraglider. Like
Now
I don't-
challenge
yeah.
accepted.
I just don't
I would
trust.
love to see it.
I don't trust it.
Interesting. Do you?
What? Trust what?
A hot air balloon?
No, I hear about like crash landings aren't great.
Yeah.
I'm not like, I don't have a desire to do it.
Me neither.
But if someone was like, will you go up? I'll be like, all right.
If Briar,
Yeah,
was
I would
like,
never,
really want to
like-
go up for my birthday.
I don't know about
Skydiving?
taking my kid. That makes me more.
Skydiving?
I used to want to skydive. It's changed a little since I had Briar. Like a lot of those things change once you
Yeah.
have
I have
kids
no
and you're like,
desire to
why?
skydive.
No, it's not worth the
Want
risk.
to know what it really is though? I'm not scared of that. I have chronic sinusitis. And if I'm worried at that altitude that it'll hurt.
Isn't it the same as flying in any altitude?
Well, yeah, but
But in her
You're-
mind, it's different.
no, but I feel like if you're in a plane, it's like pressurized. Like if you're just up there and you have to go out.
I don't want to.
I don't, maybe that's just my brain.
I don't know.
I mean, I would do again. I'd be like, I would do it.
Depending on what guy asks.
Yeah,
Facts.
absolutely.
I would do anything a guy asked me to do.
Oh, I love it. It makes me happy. Do you want to know a fun fact I learned?
Always.
So, you know how they say that your metabolism slows down when you're older? And like, that's why people like gain weight or whatever. And as you get older, your metabolism slows down. It's not true.
Oh, that's fun.
Isn't that fun? No, what happens is you lose muscle mass. And because of that, your metabolism slows down. But if you build your muscle mass, you can keep your metabolism
She's been
going.
working out with her brother.
Well, I have.
He's not the one who's talking about it.
I know. There's a lot. That's
Yeah.
going around now. That like muscle building is
I
most
don't
important.
want, but
for
like
longevity.
muscle mass, like,
Yeah, but
You
you
don't wanna
need
be
it as you
buff?
grow
no,
old.
I don't want to be buff.
You need it
Okay.
for everything.
Where did you learn it?
I actually learned it through Nicole when we were training together.
That I believe. How do you feel about milk thistle? Do you know about it?
Is this going around too?
Is this related?
Is it like colostrum?
It's like, I don't know. It's just something to take. It's good for your liver. And if your liver is good, then you're
Oh.
good.
Where does it come from?
Milk?
A commercial on Instagram.
Oh, I wonder why
Is it
they're
like a
targeting
powder?
you
What is
that.
happening?
Like you don't just randomly get
No, there was
targeted
like two things. A doctor was talking about that. And then this other thing that I was going to look up. Wait, I put it in my notes because I didn't know what it was.
I've never heard anyone say to take milk thistle.
Gymnema something. Does that sound familiar? Well, just because of Jeff, I'm asking you. Okay. whatever.
No, I'm not looking at you like you're crazy. I'm looking at you like I've never heard of Gymnema.
Let me look it up, guys. Gymnema. No, here it is. It's Gymnema sylvestre. Okay, something to ask your husband, and then
I just want to know why you're being targeted these things.
I don't know, but it was an actress was Maggie Q and this doctor, and it was like this whole thing. So I watched it till the end because she kept talking about.
I've watched that.
You've watched it,
That's why she getting targeted.
See?
Because you
Yeah.
watched it.
okay?
I've watched it.
And you watched, and these were the things, and I'm like, well, I gotta look up these things.
It was a quite compelling.
It was a quite, her
Yeah.
whole thing. I was like,
yeah.
okay, Maggie Q, I
Yeah.
believe you. I will do that.
But we do have to be careful.
With what?
I don't know.
With what we take?
I guess. Yeah.
Or what? What we watch?
Everything.
What we believe? What do you believe?
With like, don't step on any cracks, you know?
Are you superstitious, Rob?
Do you step on cracks?
Do you walk under ladders?
Certain things I am superstitious about.
Like
yes.
what? Will you walk under a ladder?
Will you open
Yeah,
an
that's
umbrella inside?
fine. It's
Like
more like
sports?
sports. Yeah.
I knew
What do
it.
you mean?
Like he had to wear that. He wore that hat when the White Sox won, so he has to
Oh.
wear it again.
It's not. It's when I play. Like
Oh,
there's a certain album I'll listen to on my way to a game.
Oh, yeah.
it's
We've
his
talked
like
about
yeah.
this.
Yeah.
Uh-huh. What album is it again?
It's a Circa Survive album.
A what?
Circa Survive.
Circa Survive. Okay, it's the same one every
Same
time.
one every time.
Do you open umbrellas in the house?
Yeah, I don't really care about that.
You don't? Will you walk under a ladder?
Sure.
If you see a black cat coming, do you switch lanes or let it cross your path?
Switch lanes? Am I
Like
driving
move, or just like move?
I don't consciously do anything if I see a black cat.
Okay.
I don't. Black cats don't bother me. I mean, cats in general bother me, but not black cats superstitiously.
Yeah, I don't think I'm.
Superstitious?
No,
You are.
not like general global rules like that. I don't like. But if it's something specific that I do, I can
You've
get.
come up with
I
your
can
own.
get. Yeah, I can get superstitious about that.
Is it superstitious or is it ritualistic?
Probably both.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
What about you, ladies?
I try not to be superstitious. My mom has really been like enforcing that. Like, don't buy into that stuff. But I do have certain things. I do have to do something when I get on a plane.
Think about everything that could go wrong, right?
No, that's you. I'm just kidding. No, I do a thing. Like I have like a,
Do tell.
I do too.
What is
what
it?
do you do?
It used to be the bubble.
That's
I used to put the plane in
that's for me.
bubble.
Yeah.
But then I stopped doing that. And well, no, I'd still be like maybe a little of that.
Yeah.
But I picture my kids' faces
Mm-hmm.
and I picture like if I'm not with them,
Mhm.
like I picture getting to them and like kissing their faces and the freckles and like everything so that I know that that's going to happen.
Oh.
Yeah.
I used to always wear my grandmother's necklace, and I was like, I don't want to be tied to this, that if I don't have it, I'm going to feel
Then
anxious.
freak out, yeah.
So I let go of that, but I just do the mental thing where I put it in a bubble.
Yeah.
I put the plane in a bubble.
Yeah.
Sometimes I picture it like just flying along all happy, like with the sun. Like it's like a happy little, it's a happy little plane.
It's like Sesame Street inside her head.
Yeah.
That's great.
All times. Do you not do anything when you get on a plane?
He avoids
Do you
planes.
wipe down your plane seat?
the whole thing?
Yeah, the whole, like,
You
the whole
wipe
plane.
the whole plane.
If I have them, or it's normally if I'm traveling with Natalie and she has them,
You'll wipe.
then I will take it from her. But
I was
I'm not
always
going
that
out of my
person.
way to do it either.
I was that person pre-COVID.
I saw Natalie rock climbing,
Excuse me?
climb walling. What is it called?
I do have certain music I will also listen to on the plane.
Like have to?
On like takeoff and like getting ready to go.
You're super superstitious.
But it's more like soothing. Like
What is it?
it'll be like Fleet Foxes or Bowerbirds, like something called like Phoebe Bridgers.
Okay. You know what
Not-
I used to do? I trained myself to go to sleep to Kid A by Radiohead. Even when Idiotech would come on, like it would still put me to sleep. And so every time I would get on a plane, I would just listen to that album and it
Knock you
would
out.
knock me out.
I used to take Xanax
I used to get wasted.
and drink heavily.
Can you sleep on planes?
Nope. I try to, but I've even like, I'm going to take a red eye because I think I can do it. And then I do it. And then
You
I
don't
don't sleep. And then I wake up or then I get to Chicago at 6 a.m. and I'm tired.
Can you sleep on planes?
Hit or miss.
Yeah.
Very
Olivia and
hit
I
or
get on a
miss.
plane and we
Talk.
don't stop talking.
I wish I could. I've tried to take early flights so that I could sleep through it and then like not sleep the night before to be like, well, I'm going to force myself to. And then,
It's not comfortable.
nope.
No, it's very uncomfortable.
Yeah. But
It's
I do
hard with
find the
kids,
sound
too.
of the plane like white noise and it will put me out too. Do you not find that?
No.
Oh,
If you can get like a lay flap, maybe you can sleep.
that's nice.
I mean, I'll fall asleep if it's a long flight and it's a red eye, but it's like up and down. It's not so boring what we're talking about.
Yeah, this sucks.
Yeah, it's boring. We're putting our listeners to sleep as we speak. Right?
Reminds me of the laundry.
They might like
Maybe our biggest episode yet.
Yeah. Taco Bell order. and how you fold your laundry is really bangers. Wait, I want to know about the rock climbing.
Wait, well, sorry.
Is that
Wait, go
boring?
back. Where did you see Natalie rock climbing?
On
She was
Instagram,
at
I
the- she
didn't.
was at
It
the
wasn't like a peep
She was at the
show.
climbing gym.
I thought you were like, yeah.
Random ran into Natalie rock climbing. That's what I thought. No,
We're like at the farmer's market on the rock wall.
wait, Dad, that is so good. I wish.
That would be amazing.
Do you go together?
No,
Wait, she goes to the climbing gym. Is
she
that the
goes
story?
with Calvin
Got it.
on Saturday.
But she's her own climber.
As opposed to someone else's? What?
I mean, not just going with Calvin. She's doing it
Yeah, yeah.
herself.
Yeah,
Do you
she
do it?
climbs. No, I
Does
don't like
Casper
heights.
join them?
Casper loves it.
I
I know.
No.
That's why I was like, oh, is this like a group thing
He
you
does
guys do?
bouldering. Her and Calvin do the like rope climbing. So they
Don't you have to be like, you have to have a certain thing to do it?
you have to be like certified.
Yeah.
She's
Calvin's certified?
For belaying. Yeah.
Yeah.
How do you
They
get
both are?
certified?
You take
I
classes.
believe so. Yeah, you take classes and then you have like a test. It's just basically to figure out the knot.
And you don't do it.
I did it during our winter break. I don't
Yeah.
like heights.
Right,
So
that's
it
what I was
like,
gonna say.
I'll force myself to confront this and maybe it'll just go away.
Mm.
And I did it for like 2 or 3 days, or maybe like a week and a half. We went a couple times. It was fun. It was fine, but then
Do you show Cal that you're scared of heights? Does he know?
he knows.
Do you show him?
Yeah.
What does it look like?
I
Do you
mean,
pee your pants?
yeah.
I go like this. Oh,
I mean,
Yeah.
I went up and climbed. It was fine, but I didn't tell him
Peed yourself.
No, I didn't pee myself. I didn't tell him
Roped
that
yourself.
I wasn't not afraid of it. Like he was aware.
Okay.
I've only had a fear of heights one time in
When
my
was
life.
it?
when I went to the World Trade Center. I had a panic attack. And when I got to the top, like full-blown panic attack and had to leave. I was like, I need to get out of here.
When and why were you at the top of the World Trade Center?
I went to New York and I was with my family and they were taking us around New York and we went there. And it was like a year before
9/11?
Yeah.
I was at your house
I
when
know.
9/11. We were sleeping.
Yeah.
And her
remember.
roommate came in.
And said, I don't know if you care, but America's under attack, and walked out and shut the door.
You had a roommate when 9/11 happened?
What's wrong with that?
What do you mean?
You were like
you were
two.
like,
I was,
how old were
I was
you?
in 7th grade.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
No, I was probably nine. Well, what
We
year?
were
We could
probably
figure
like
it out.
19 or something like that.
I was 20. I was 20. No. Was it 2001? Yeah. I was 20.
Yeah. I had a roommate.
Mm-hmm.
She literally walked in the room and goes,
Yeah,
I don't
woke
know
us
if you
up.
care, but America's under attack. And
We
then
were like,
walked out.
what? And we got up.
We're like, why wouldn't we care?
I know. We got up
Like-
and went into the living to watch TV,
Yeah.
and we ordered sandwiches.
No.
No.
Someone brought us bagels.
Oh, that's what it was. I
Yeah.
just remember there was like food that was a memory.
Yeah, the guys came over and brought us bagels.
They brought us bagels.
Yeah.
Yeah. Was Leo with us?
I don't remember.
I know it was us.
Yeah.
Okay. Sorry. Back in. Or never were out. I don't know.
Yeah.
The jury's out. The
Basket
jury's out
rolls.
on that one.
You guys want to pick a question?
Yeah.
Okay. Oh my God. I've been getting the hiccups like the past 3 days in a row. What does that mean?
Have you been drinking heavily?
Yes.
All right. Question number 1. My girlfriend made me cry after having sex. Why did I cry? Question number 2. Just heard a phone notification in the bathroom while showering alone. Should I ask my fiance about it?
Wait, I don't
Wait,
understand. Okay.
You have to pick it to find
Right.
out. Question 3. We are sexually incompatible, but I don't want to break up. What should we do?
Ooh. That's a toughie.
So, crying after sex, phone notification in the bathroom.
I don't understand. I
Sexually
don't know if I want to
incompatible.
answer that one, but I don't understand.
Yeah,
So that's what you're picking out of curiosity?
I think so.
So my fiance and I have been together for 4 years, engaged for 1. I was taking a relaxing bath this evening to enjoy the silence and let the bathroom fan drown out all the outside noise. My phone was on silent. I wasn't wearing earbuds. I'm deep in a meditative state in the bath when I am jarred by a phone, text, or email notification. Clear as day coming from inside the bathroom. Got up immediately. I don't know. I'm so confused by this question.
Oh, I get it.
We'll see. Got up immediately, like,
Because her phone wasn't in there.
WTF. I checked my phone even though I knew it was silent and there was no notification. So I'm kind of worried at this point. I feel a sinking in my stomach. So I get dressed, look through the crevice, box, cabinet, drawer, and plumbing fixture in the bathroom to find nothing. I know for a fact I did not just hear it in my brain. It was a distinct Android boo, 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 which we don't have any Androids. Foreign asks, yes, I checked my carbon monoxide levels. They are fine. I have no mental illness. The question is, what do I do? Do I even bring this up to my fiance? I sound crazy and I don't want to be accusatory, but my first thought was a second phone hidden by him in the bathroom. I can't imagine you could ever cheat, but you can never be too vigilant with something random and unexpected like this happens. Should I wait and see if it happens again? I'm not going to lie. I'm a little paranoid and have been convincing myself I manifested the noise, but I know in my gut it was real. Where else would I even look, though?
My first thought was like, oh, is there like a landlord who like planted a phone to like watch people in the bathroom?
There's an update.
Oh, good.
Oh, good.
I was
'Cause don't
hoping
think-
so.
I don't think she trusts him though, because that like is a far leap.
No, but also, wouldn't he like make sure it was on silent?
Yeah, but that's like you got to really not trust someone to be like, dude's got a burner phone that he hid. Like, do you think Natalie would ever think that if she heard a noise? Would she be like, oh, Rob's
That
Never.
Android must be
You know what I'm
his
saying?
secret
Yeah, like,
life.
totally.
You've got to like
She's
already
clearly
have.
paranoid. Yeah, to begin with.
All right. I did not talk to my fiance about it because I found the phone before he got home. I tore the bathroom apart like a madman, but this time I checked behind the toilet tank, between the wall, about a 2-inch gap, and mounted to the back of the tank was one of those $1 holder things that you peel off and stick something to hold items. The phone was placed inside of it, a sticky mounted thing. Definitely not my phone.
Ooh.
And
So she
obviously
found a
it was
phone.
meticulously placed there. Well, my fiance and I broke up. The password was the same as his computer that we share, so I unlocked it when trying to stifle. Found Snapchat conversations with 3 different women. The notification sound I heard was lined up with the most recent snap sent him of a woman's bare pussy asking
Robert!
when he can come stuff it again. In a rage, I smashed the phone and texted my fiance to come home immediately. He came home and already looked pale. Like he knew. I asked him how fucking long it's been going on, and he refused to answer anything. I told him to pack his crap and leave. As he walks out with his backpack, I hear him mutter, "I knew I forgot to silence it." So yeah, I wasn't crazy. I heard a notification and he was fucking cheating. Now my whole world is upside down and I don't know where to go from here. I just can't believe this.
I'm just thinking like.
See, at first I
a
was like, I would have
toilet?
tore up the entire bathroom if I was her and like looked like at first. Like when you hear that, you know?
But like, what the hell kind of person is putting a phone in a toilet?
Like a burner phone.
Like, are you
Strapped to the back.
that phone?
like break up with her? Like you're gonna go to that length?
Yeah.
Like, is it what is
What?
with
I
people?
don't know. People are strange.
Like the
Yeah.
toilet? You couldn't have come up with a better place.
The toilet you share with your fiance.
That's crazy.
Like put it in your glove box with like a safe or something. I don't know.
Keep it at work.
How would you cheat if you were doing this?
Let me
Olivia?
break this down for you.
I'm like, you put it in the right look.
Yeah, I know.
I just like the toilet. That just seems so like.
I get, like, I understand, like,
007.
where are you going to put it at your house that, like, you know, but yeah, I don't know.
I mean, it's a little
Mine?
extra.
You guys are just
Where
more
mine
offended by the
is.
stupidity of this guy than the actual
You were
act.
like, why'd you hide it there?
Well, also, she already didn't trust him because you
Yeah.
hear
Right.
a phone notification go off, and the first thing you think is your boyfriend has a burner phone. Like, that's a problem.
Yep.
Now I'm gonna go like,
Look at all your toilets.
yeah, I'm gonna go. Yeah, but like, what happens if you like have a plumbing problem and they're like, there's a phone here? Like, that's just so creepy.
Yeah. It's stupid.
Do you think it's real?
I have no reason to think it's not real.
Well, I mean, she went back and like updated it. I feel like it's real. You know? I don't know. You're just like, she doesn't believe the stupidity of
I don't
this
believe
guy.
this anonymous Reddit post.
I mean,
That's crazy.
what are your thoughts on people who write things on
Like Reddit?
The
Reddit
internet?
or the internet in general? Do you think that, like, do people you know and associate with go online and like write reviews or do that kind of stuff?
Like a Yelper?
Well, I think reviews is different than a comment.
Are you a Yelper?
I'm not, but
Do you
I'm-
have Yelper friends?
I think so.
You do?
Yeah.
Do you?
What, Yelper friends?
Yeah.
I have people that like rely on Yelp, but I don't know if they're Yelpers themselves. Does that make sense? I don't know if they write it, but they
Yeah.
rely on it to pick places and things.
And what about Reddit?
I know people that use Reddit too.
They write on it.
Sure.
Okay.
I mean, I think there's good and bad versions of all of those.
Totally. I mean,
like-
look at when people go put positive things, that's really sweet. But I guess when people write really mean things, I'm like, what kind of person would do that?
Lonely people.
Oh.
Lonely
But what
people?
is that cure for them? To just be like blatantly mean for no reason. What
Right.
hit do they get from doing that? It's not like someone's going to be like, I hear you and you're amazing. You know, because usually when you read a really negative comment, you're
Yeah.
like, oh,
Well, usually, I would imagine most of the time those people are dealing with other insecurities and things that are causing them to act out in this way.
you know, I learned a lot from going to a wrestling match.
Yeah.
Well, and I thought of it this way. I'm not going to lie. I thought it was a really healthy way because these people are in there and they're kind of bashing, it's like medieval times in a way where they're bashing. All I'm saying is these people are going out and taking their aggression out and saying really aggressive things. And I was like, you know what? That's a really healthy way to do it. You're doing it in a way where people signed up for that and they're welcoming it. So if you have aggression and mean things to say, go to a wrestling match.
Go to the AEW.
Yeah. I'm serious.
Yeah, have it out.
Let it out.
Yeah.
In a way that they're welcoming.
Or one of those parks where you like smash things.
What?
Yeah. We were just watching a Blippi episode where
Oh,
he went to
so much to
some
learn
place
about.
where he smashed a car with an excavator.
Oh, wow.
I know. It was a little aggressive.
That is aggressive for Blippi.
Vinny was into it.
That's cute.
All right.
All right.
All right, next time.
Next time.
Okay.
Thanks,
Bye.
guys.
See you later.
Bye.